In the last video we talked about file permissions. This video is about viewing files, which is something you do constantly in Linux. Because remember, in Linux, everything is a file, and almost everything is a text file. So these are tools really for viewing text files. And these come up over and over again. You need to be aware of them. Let's go ahead and click on the X term, and you can poke around and find files anywhere. We're going to go to var, right? /var. So we're going to cd/var, and if you remember, what is /var? Var stands for variable. So everything that varies in size should be in here. And let's go into log. So let's cd into log, and now I'm in var/log, and I type ls. So these are all the log files that Linux has generated, and a lot of them are empty. Let's try, I'll bet you if I do, let's try this. Cat is short for concatenate, and cat allows you to give it a whole list of files, and it will print them all out to the screen. So if I do cat, user.log, it prints out everything in user log. If I do cat, let's do fail log, it prints out nothing. So fail log right now is empty. User log contains that text, which we don't know, and we don't really need to know what it means right now. But logs all do have a nice format in that every line starts with the date and time that whatever it was logged. Yeah, so cat, again, short for concatenate. I could list like 10 different files. So I could do cat user log, syslog, xorg log, and it prints out all of those files in order to the screen, which makes it totally unreadable and probably seems entirely useless. And it is right now. However, later on, we're going to get into piping and redirection, and when we start doing that, you'll see how versatile cat is. But if you ever want to just quickly see what does this file say, cat's your choice. Okay. The other ways that let me clear and do an ls. Let's keep working with user log there. The other way that I print log out to the screen is I can use tail and head to view the top or bottom, right? So if I do tail user log, well, actually no, let me do this. Let me clear and let me do cat user log so you can see the whole thing, and let me just do tail-2 user log. And what you'll see is those are the bottom 2 lines from user log, right? So tail means the bottom. If I don't give it like -2 or -3 or -4, I think by default it takes 10 lines. And then whatever file I want to look at. Obviously, with log files, 99% of the time, you only care what the last few entries were. So that's where tail becomes really handy. In a lot of configuration files, you only care what the top is. So for that, we use head. So I'll do head-2 user log, and that grabbed the top 2 lines from the user log file. So head, tail, and cat are the basic ways that we take a file and print it out in our terminal, right? With 99% of the time, that's all you need to do. If we want to kind of browse through a file page by page, particularly if there's lots of data, let's see. Like if I do a cat, let's do dmessage. Oh, yeah. If I do cat dmessage, we see there was a ton of stuff there. There's too much to really see it all at once. I can do less dmessage. And I can hit the space bar to kind of page through it. I can hit the up arrow to go backwards. So I can also hit the down arrow to go forwards. But if I want to go down one page at a time, I hit the space bar. So if I want to quickly scan through, I will do less. Now, there is another tool out there called more. And if I do more dmessage, I can still page through. However, I'm hitting the up arrow. You can't see this, but I'm hitting the up arrow, I swear, and nothing's happening. More only goes forward. Less can go backwards and forward. Why? Because less is more. It's a programmer joke. It's hilarious to programmers. So you're never going to want to use more because everything has less now, but sometimes you'll see like a tutorial or something and they'll talk about more. It's just less without as many options. So let's do less dmessage, and I can page through. Also from dmessage, I can hit slash, and notice my prompt at the bottom changed, and I can type in a string of text that I want to look for. And I'm going to search for hi. And it highlights all the cases of that, and I can also use the N key to go to the next instance of it if I want to, search through a whole file. So yeah, there's not a lot to it, but that is how we view text files, which I'm going to ask you to do over and over and over again this semester. Right? You're going to have to view text files. So you can use cat to just spit the whole thing out to the screen. You can use tail to look at the very bottom of the file, head to look at the very top of the file. Each of those can have a switch, dash, and then the number of lines that you want. Or you can use less to page through the whole file, or search using slash and then using the N key to go next, 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 next. Yeah, that's looking at files. If you have any questions, shoot me an email.